So the China-Africa relations have over half a century of relations. China, or the PRC, has been involved in supporting multiple African independence wars. And so we can think about the China-Africa relations starting around in the 1950s, as early as the 1950s. A lot of times we speak about the Bandung Conference as a milestone for talking about when the PRC became or saw the African independence movements as an interesting cause and an interesting interaction. And so when, for instance, we take the example of China-Egypt relations were established in the 1950s, China-Algeria relations were established before China's independence. And I would say that beginning of the launch of the PRC-Africa relations can be traced back to the Bandung Conference and to African independence and revolutionary wars. In the 1950s and the early 1960s, the PRC has been of great support, for instance, to the Algerian independence movement. So the relations between China and Algeria started even before Algeria's independence. And so in 1958, when the provisional government was formed in Algeria, China recognized it within 3 days, for instance. And so the relationship there was that several delegations from the revolutionary movement in Algeria would go to China to plead the case for the independence of Algeria. And at the time, of course, what the Algerians needed was not only support in terms of military equipment and support in armaments or training the soldiers, but also really a voice that could bring up the cause of the Algerian war in international occasions and international institutions and organizations. And the PRC played that role several times for the Algerian revolutionary movement. And so the relationship started, and until today, those historic relations and the friendship that started all the way before even the birth of the Algerian government or the Algerian state as an independent country are brought up today in the relationship between China and Algeria.